Hi folks, Drone back again. I want to go over in this case the circle of fifths and how to use the circle of fifths to build all the 12 keys. This is how I wanted, the reason for that I'm doing this is that I wanted to be able to know all the notes in every scale. So I could know all the chords in every scale off by heart instead of having to look it up and think about it. So I found that the circle of fifths was the quickest way to memorize all this stuff. So I'll start off by just drawing, let's draw as good as a circle as I can. And then we're going to cut it up into 12. And now I'm going to lay out 12 keys. C will always be at the top. And I want you to remember this, the word bead. This is going to come up again and again. Just keep this in mind. So we have C at the top. To the left of C will be the key of F. To the right of C will be the key of G. And now here comes the word bead. So in a circle of fifths, everything on the left of the circle are the flat keys, the keys with flats in them. Everything on the right is the keys with sharps in them. So I'm going to fill in. So now remembering the order, I remember the word bead, and that's how I fill this in. So on this side, it's going to be the flat keys. So this is going to be B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. And here it's going to be here. So this is going to be B, E, A, D. So it's going to be B flat here. No, it's going to be B, E, A, and D. And the one on the bottom, that's going to be G flat. And now that's using the word bead, I was able to build the circle of fifths. Eventually you will have this memorized and you won't need to, you'll just be able to write this down. I just found that using the word bead is a quick way of building a scale without having, is an easy way to remember it. And then ultimately you want to remember this order, but bead is a handy way to get there. So in the circle of fifths, C, no sharps, no flats. Everything on the right are the sharps, and they go in order. So G has 1 sharp, D has 2 sharps, A has 3 sharps, E has 4 sharps, B has 5 sharps. Everything on the left is the flats. B has 1 flat. Sorry, F has 1 flat. B flat has 2 flats. E flat has 3 flats. A flat has 4 flats. D flat has 5 flats. G flat has 6 flats. One thing to note is that the number of sharps and the number of flats dictates the scale. So if I know the number of sharps and the number of flats, I know the scale. And we're going to use, the only thing to use these number of sharps and number of flats to build a scale is the order of the sharps and the flats. The order of the sharps and the flats is built into the circle of fifths itself. So if you can build this scale here, the order of the sharps will be here. So it will start on F and it will go to B. So the order of the sharps is going to be, sorry, let me page here. Order of the sharps from here. It's going to be, if I do the sharps, it's going to be F, C, G, D, A, E, and B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The order of the flats is the reverse of this. The order of the flats will be B, E, A, D, G, C, F. B, E, A, D, G, C, and F. And then here's this word bead again. And likewise, bead here backwards. So the word bead comes up, and it's a handy way of remembering the order of the flats, and likewise, remember the order of the sharps. So you can use the word bead as a mnemonic to trigger how to memorize this stuff. I found it was the easiest way to get going. So now we've got the circle of fifths. We know how many sharps and how many flats are in each key. And now I can start using that to build all 12 keys. So the key of C will have 0 sharps. And then one thing about building the scales, we'll use all 7 natural notes. So it'll be A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. They all have to appear exactly once. And we write them down in order, and then we fill in the sharps and flats after. So in the key of C has no sharps, no flats. So the key of C will be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. The key of G has 1 sharp. And if it has 1 sharp, that sharp will be F sharp. So if I can write down G, so it'll be G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. The next one will be the key of D, which has 2 sharps. It has 2 sharps, so it's going to be F sharp and C sharp. So it'll be D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. Then it's going to be, the next one is A, the key of A, which has 3 sharps, F, C, and G. So it will be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. And then the next one is E. E will have 4 sharps, F, C, G, and D. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E. And then we've got the key of B, which has 5 sharps, which will be F, C, G, D, and A. Will be B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and B. So then we can do the same thing for the flats. Key of flats will be, we know it's F. F will have 1 flat. If it has 1 flat, it will be B flat. So we can say the key of F has F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, and F. The key, next one is key of B flat. B flat has 2 flats, which will be B flat and E flat. So we're doing B flat. So we've got B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, and B flat. Then we've got E flat, which has 3 flats, which will be B, E, and A. So it'll be E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, and E flat. The next one will be A, which has 4 flats, B, E, A, and D. D flat, E flat, F, G, and A flat. Key of A has 4 flats. That's 1, A flat, B flat, D flat, and E flat. The key of D has 5 flats. We B, E, A, and D, and G. We have D flat. D flat will be E flat. Will be F and a G flat. A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. And the last one is G flat, which has 6 flats, B, E, A, D, G, and C. So, and then the G flat has, everything is flat except for F. G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, D flat, E flat, F, and G flat. So using a circle of fifths, remember the word bead. I can fill in the flats on the left side, knowing that F is between C and B flat, and I know that G is between C and the word bead again, and G flat is at the bottom. I'm not including sharps here. Sharps complicate doing this kind of analysis because keys have F sharp, and given that every letter has to appear exactly once in order, then you might end up with double sharps. So it's just easier to work with flats. And then if you're a blues players tend to use the flat keys and not sharps. So you would be B flat instead of A sharp. So I just simplify this to just use sharps, to use flats. And then from the flats, and then we got the order of the sharps are here. So F, C, G, D, A, E, and B. And the order of the flats is the reverse of that. So if you know the circle of fifths, if you can remember the word bead, you should be able to build a circle of fifths. And you know everything on the left is the keys with flats in them. Everything on the right is the keys with sharps in them. And then they go in order. So this is the circle of fifths is ordered by the number of sharps and number of flats. And if you know how to build, if you know this, so if you can remember the word bead, GCF, and flip that around, F, C, G, D, A, E, and B, you know the order of all the sharps in all the keys. So you would know C has no sharps, G has one sharp, it'll be F sharp. D has two sharps, it'll be F sharp and C sharp. A will have three sharps, it'll be F, C, and G sharp. Key of E has four sharps, will be F, C, G, and D. And the key of B has five sharps, will be F, C, G, D, and A. And the same thing for the flats. They go in order. F has one flat, will be B flat. B flat has two flats, will be B flat and E flat. The key of E flat has three flats, will be B flat, E flat, and A flat. The key of A flat has four flats, will be B, E, A, and D flat. The key of D flat has five flats, B, E, A, D, G flat. And the key of G has six flats, B, E, A, D, G, and C flats. And then that's how you can use the circle of fifths, knowing how to build a circle of fifths just by remembering the word bead. And from the circle of fifths, you can get the order of sharps and flats, and you know the circle of fifths is already ordered by the number of sharps and flats. So that lets you build the scale. That allows you to build all scales. So what I do is this process here of building a circle of fifths, and from the circle of fifths, writing down all 12 keys and just pure memorization. Completely just writing this down over and over again until I've got this cold, till I can see all these notes. And I just know here this is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And here this is going to be over here. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 flats. So that's how you can use the circle of fifths to build all 12 keys. One thing I'll point out before I'll call this is that in the number of sharps, I never use 6 or 7 sharps. The key signature that has 7 sharps is C sharp, but C sharp is enharmonic equivalent to the key of D flat. So I can ignore C sharp, so I don't need to worry about the key signature with 7 sharps. And I think in the key of B, if I go up a fourth from B, I think it's F sharp. So I think that with 6, the key signature with 6 sharps will be F sharp. And we don't need F sharp because F sharp is the equivalent of G flat, is enharmonic equivalent G flat. So we can ignore the 6 and the 7. They're already covered off in other keys. And we use all 6. We don't use, for the same reason we don't use 7 flats. 7 flats is C flat, which is enharmonic equivalent of the key of B. So we can get away with not worrying about the sharps, and we're not worrying about 6 and 7 sharps or 7 flats. They're enharmonic. If you're going to do from an academic perspective, if you went to school for this, you'd probably focus. You'll have to know these, but for what I'm doing, I don't need to care about those. So that's pretty much it. If you can remember the word bead, you can remember how to build. You can remember the order of the flats and the sharps, so you can know the word bead here and the word bead here. The only thing you need to really know is, obviously, C is at the top. C is the major scale. Is the key everything else is based off of. So C goes at the top. You just need to memorize F is to the left, F is flat, and G is a sharp key. And then the last one on the bottom will be G flat. So if you can remember that, then you can fill in the number of sharps. And then from that, you can build the order of the sharps will be here. The order of the flats is the reverse of that. And that is how I use a circle of fifths to build out all the notes in all 12 keys. And I'm only considering the flat keys. Sharp keys, I'm ignoring. I'm treating them as flats. I'm only using the flat keys. But that gets you all 12 keys. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions. This helped me tremendously. This is basically how I memorized all the notes and all the keys. So hopefully that helps. So here's the circle of fifths again. And remember the word bead, and that'll help you with remembering the circle of fifths. JT out.